Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of the Steel City Commuters Podcast. I am Austin Cairns, joined here on Zoom yet again with my good friend Nicholas Brown. And in today's episode, we got a jam-packed episode for you guys. We're going to be talking about practically every Pittsburgh sports team under the sun today because there's headlines coming out of each and every single one of them. Before we dive into that, though, Nick, how's it going with you, my friend? I know you've been at bingo. I've been all over the road traveling and stuff recently. How's everything been treating you since our last call?
Everything's going well. My head, I need a haircut bad.
Yeah, you do. You look like 1980s Prince over there.
I know. I'm like growing a stash and, growing trying to build a try to build a beard. Can't even say that. No, I do need
Build
a
a bear? What are you
look
going to
at
build a
this.
beard? Go to the mall. Go to
I
Allen
meant
Robinson
build a
Mall.
beard. There we go. Look at this hair. I need it.
I know.
I need the summer Nick Brown look.
You got that purple rain look. Like I said, you look like Prince.
I need the Nick Brown summer edition of myself. Everything's
Mhm.
going well. Back on Zoom again. It's unfortunate. We can't be in person, but next time we're in person, I'm definitely going to be able to torture you even more. Um,
Of course
in
you are.
person. What?
I said, of course you are.
Well, that's what we have to do. I can't do it over the phone. I mean, I do over the phone and I do over Zoom, but there's just something in person about it. There's that different atmosphere because getting your
That is
reaction live is even better.
that is true. At least I could actually see you this time and get your reactions to stuff. So it's pretty interesting.
You've been all
How
over the
about
map. At least Life 360 has said Austin Cairns is up north and down south to the east to the west and nowhere near home.
Yeah, I pretty much live on the road now, Nick. This past weekend, I spent the weekend in Cook's Forest, that right at Clear Creek, with my two good buddies, Ollie and Kevin. We went camping, hiking. We climbed a mountain, actually. We didn't get to go swimming at all, unfortunately. We had a good time at the campfire, and we ended up staying in a tent, which was an experience. It was like New York all over again, Nick. Remember how the damn air mattress deflated in New York City?
You were
It
on the
did the
floor
exact
again.
same thing. Yep, right on the floor, right on the cold floor, which surprisingly, sleeping on the cold floor of Clear Creek was actually better than the hotel room at the Soho Hotel.
I find that hard to believe.
You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. But no, it was a great trip. Great time with the boys. It was a nice little mental health reset for me because I'm always working and doing stuff. So it was a nice little break where I didn't have to really stress about anything. And then this past Monday, I was at the US Open actually with my dad, where me and him got to meet a couple of golfers. We were interviewed on WTAE, so right on Pittsburgh Action News 4 by Ava Marie Rash. So shout out to WTAE for covering that story. And yeah, it was just a really good experience. I had a really good time. Today, as of Wednesday, when this is being posted, I'm actually going to be going to a Pirates game, which I didn't even tell you about. I'll have to tell you about that later on.
You told me
We're going to be
about
going
it.
to. Did I tell you? Okay, cool, cool, cool. I
We
thought I did.
talked this afternoon at 3:30.
Yeah. I'm doing a little behind the scenes project that you'll have to just all the fans will just have to wait and see for Point Park. I'm going to a Pirates game to do it. Pirates
Does this
versus
have anything to
Marlins.
do with you getting hit with a chair at PNC Park?
Absolutely not, Nick. I like my back.
Okay, I just wanted to be sure because I think there was a lot of people asking because last week's promo, I don't think you were injured. You were like on your own, and so some people have been asking, even though now you're in our algorithm feed, are you going to be getting hit again? That's what people want and requested. So I don't, with you not being able to get hit, I'm not sure if anybody's going to watch it, honestly.
Well, I will say this, Lucas Carries does return next week onto Jagoffs, and with a Lucas Carries episode usually entails a Lucas Carries promo. And within our Lucas Carries promos, every single episode has increasingly got to the point where I just get my ass kicked more and more and more every single week. So
As it
this is
should.
episode. What you mean as it should?
As it should. But I
No.
will tell you this. There's only one person out of this whole podcast that's never getting hit with a chair, and I can say proudly that will be me.
Oh no, you're getting hit with a chair.
I was told I was exempt.
You were exempt by who? What do you got? You got a doctor's note?
I'm just so fragile, and I'm like the project. I'm like the final piece of the puzzle that I can't be the one that gets hit.
This guy.
I mean, this guy.
This guy. This guy. Yeah, no, not only that, to Jagoff's sake, you're actually going to be making your debut tomorrow. How about that?
Yes, I'm excited. It's about time I make my debut on the other podcast called Two Jagoffs.
Yeah, you're an honorary Jagoff now. You're part of the team. You're not just a one and done like a lot of our guests. You're actually going to be sticking around, helping out behind the scenes.
That means more torturing you behind the scenes.
Yeah. Yeah, this also means torturing new management more behind the scenes because the last time I checked, you guys had a couple of debates on the phone. Just a
Even though
couple.
we had debates, we're still stronger than ever.
We'll see how that lasts.
It's going to always last, especially the other Jagoffs coming to Point Park.
Again, we'll see if that lasts.
It will last because you're there and two against one. So we're in perfect shape.
Okay. Okay. Well, I think we should get to the big news that everybody is waiting for us to cover,
Oh,
and everybody's.
that I'm making an appearance on two Jagoffs. Yes, that is the big news. That's the glorious news.
Well, of course, that is the biggest news. Nicholas Brown, downtown Nick Brown to be exact, will be making his debut on Two Jagoffs for a This or That special, where new management will make their first debut together on a third platform. They've already been together on Steel City and the Austin Cairns show, first time on Two Jagoffs.
Always exciting. But if you want to classify the Aaron Rodgers as major news, well, we can.
I mean, yeah, we can classify as major news. What's your thoughts on that, Nick? It's official now. 1 year deal.
Officially
Aaron
official.
Rodgers. It's officially official. Aaron Rodgers is a Steeler, damn it. What do you think?
We're all nervous. It's a long time coming. I think it was about time. But again, Dallas Cowboys. Cowboys are going to have a strong season. They're going to be able to whip into shape. It will be interesting when the Steelers.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Time out, time out, time out, time out, time out. I hate to interrupt you. I don't like interrupting. But why are you bringing the Dallas Cowboys into this? We brought up Aaron Rodgers and the Pittsburgh Steelers, yet you have the idea in your head that bring up the Dallas Cowboys for no reason. You're doing that to get under my skin, Nick. I'm reading right through you. It doesn't matter if you're in New Kent and I'm in Carnegie. I see right through you. I see through you.
I
Look at the
wasn't
smirk
going.
on your face.
I wasn't going that route. But if
Yes,
you
you
want,
were. They're not going to the Super Bowl. Neither one of them are going to the Super Bowl. Let's just put it at that. But go ahead. Go ahead. My apologies.
your apologies. So as I was saying, Dallas is coming off very strong. The Steelers, I think there's some worries here if Rodgers is going to be able to kind of maintain his status, maintain his position. We know, I think it was maybe last season or the season before. I think it was what, 4 games before he was on IR the rest of the season. Will he be able to kind of put together a team? I don't know if you saw, but I want to throw TJ Watt in here. He's missing training camp because of some contract negotiations. And I think if he misses all of the mini camp, I think it's 104,000 in fines. But again, that's like a nickel to him, given TJ's Watt, his long history. I'm not sure if this was the right time to bring on Aaron Rodgers. We still have Will Howard and
Mason Rudolph.
Mason Rudolph. Can these three work together to kind of get some momentum going? It seems that, and I want to bring in other sports here, the Steelers and the Penguins, because you see, or the Pirates, as you see what's going on with the Pirates, Don Kelly making a fantastic appearance. You look at his stats, it's better than previous management. Again, when you bring in the new Penguins head coach and you look at some of his stats, he's already doing well, trying to get a team together. So it seems that, again, the Steelers are just the third one to lag behind, that if you say Tomlin is out and you bring in some new management here, you kind of would be able to get some better stats.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with you there with the whole kind of changing the scenery a little bit. Like kind of have to change the scenery and bring in a fresh new face, a fresh new leader to try and completely captivate a culture. What I will say about Aaron Rodgers though is this. He is a bad man. He is a terrific quarterback. He is a first ballot Hall of Famer, no questions asked. One of the most athletically gifted quarterbacks that I've personally seen before Patrick Mahomes debuted. But here's the deal with Aaron Rodgers right now. Zach Wilson had a better New York Jets stat line than Aaron Rodgers did. There's no disputing that. Yes, Aaron Rodgers got an injury 4 plays into the season 2 years ago, and then last year was a complete dumpster fire. But if we look at an overall career standpoint for Zach Wilson and Aaron Rodgers, both as New York Jets, Zach Wilson was more efficient in every single category. The only thing that Rodgers let him in more was turnovers. That's a concern, especially when coming into the Pittsburgh Steelers, a team that I would already argue that is allergic to the end zone. They already have a hard time scoring. They already have a hard time moving the ball downfield. But what I will say to you is this. The Steelers were in desperate need of a quarterback. Mason Rudolph and Will Howard is not enough to get you to the promised land. Maybe a winning record, maybe another first round exit, but that's about it. Bringing in Aaron Rodgers brings in a little more hope, but let's be honest with us, Nick. Do we really still see the Steelers competing with a Lamar Jackson in the Baltimore Ravens, a Joe Burrow in the Cincinnati Bengals, the Browns, who are now starting to come on the uprise a little bit with building back their defense? Let's not forget the rest of the AFC rivals here. The Kansas City Chiefs, yeah, they got toppled by the Eagles, but you best better believe they're still going to be back there. The Buffalo Bills, they're looking for vengeance. There's so many other, the Denver Broncos with Bo Nix, they're on the uprise. Who knows where Miami's going to be if Tua stays healthy? There's a lot of different teams in the NFL, especially in the AFC, that we need to look at and say, wait a minute, these guys are more complete than the Steelers. Bringing in Rodgers last second is going to be a savior for your season and a savior most likely for Tomlin's job, but is it going to get to the promised land? Absolutely not.
I think there's some question too, because this season is going to be one to watch, especially I believe it's Sunday Night Football. I could be wrong when Aaron Rodgers takes on the Green Bay Packers. I
That's
think it's
correct.
October 26th. That is a game that is going to be a must watch because what is it? He could be 1 in 32 quarterbacks to beat the Green Bay Packers or something.
No, no, no. The stat that you're thinking of is he'll be, I think, the fifth or sixth quarterback of in NFL history to beat all 32 NFL teams.
Okay, yeah, that's the stat. Can
Mhm.
that happen? Like that's going to be a big stat to watch because I was seeing some today that even though his contract is, priced around 19 and a half, he still can earn a lot of incentives. And that's talking about MVP. That's talking about the Super Bowl. That's talking about going to the playoffs. That's talking about certain metrics. Will he want to earn those advantages? Possibly, but he's going to have a tough competitive year ahead because one of it is his age. Is he going to be able to stay healthy? And the Steelers have their bye week, I believe, week 5. It's an early bye week this year, and that's
That's
going to
early.
be a problem because if you're just healthy, all of a sudden you can hit that road and you can just start trending down. And then when it's week, 16, 17, and it's like playoff time, there you go. Like that's a major concern right there on the end. But if I had to pick, I'm picking Dallas over the Steelers.
See, I'm not going to disagree with you. You're just trying to throw that little dig in there at the end to get under my
Me, I
skin.
would never do such a thing.
Oh, BS. Bull jive. Here's the thing with your Dallas Cowboys. I will say they are going to be better than the Pittsburgh Steelers because they have a quarterback. They have a trustworthy defensive player in Micah Parsons, who we know is going to be there next year. They have weapons that they can rely on. The Steelers do not have any of those. So I will give you credit with the Cowboys, but they're in a similar situation as the Steelers are. Their division rivals are much better. Washington and Philly completely trumps the Cowboys, just like the Bengals and Ravens do the Steelers. So that's the only comparison I can really give them to. To end off with this with Aaron Rodgers before we move into the other two sports teams we're going to talk about, I will say this. They needed a quarterback. Rodgers and the Steelers were pretty much a match made in heaven from the get-go. But don't forget that there were reports that Aaron Rodgers was the third quarterback on Pittsburgh's watch list. They originally wanted Matthew Stafford. Let's not forget that, Nick. Matthew Stafford was the guy that was talked about in trade rumors all offseason until he re-signed with the Rams. Second on that list was Justin Fields, who took more money with the Jets, which is good on him. Rodgers was their last option. He was their emergency. That's why it took so long. We know how stubborn he is. Now he got his deal. Slightly overpaid for 1 year, but at the end of the day, he is a first ballot Hall of Famer. So the Steelers got themselves in yet another situation where, yes, you have a quarterback for this year, but you're back in the same predicament next year.
That's just what happens. We've seen it every year so far. I think it has to do something with management. If Aaron Rodgers can't
For
turn
sure.
around the team, it's going to prove Mike Tomlin needs to go.
I couldn't agree with you more, Nick. Speaking of head coaches that had to go and bringing in new management, as you like to say, I like that you've been throwing around that term a lot this episode because it's pretty sentimental for what we're going to be talking about next, and that is the Pittsburgh Penguins and Dan Muse, the newest head coach of the Penguins. He is replacing Mike Sullivan, who I have been very vocal about on almost every platform I've been a part of. Steel City, Austin Cairns Show 2, Jagoffs. Hell, even on Pioneer Sideline at Point Park, I was the one going to war on calling for Sullivan's job. Not because I think he's a bad coach, but because I think that things have grown stale here in Pittsburgh. I even had the chance to sit down with Josh Getzoff, the voice of the Penguins, to get his opinion on this, and he was pretty much on the exact same page I was. So now that the Penguins are bringing in a new leader, a new head coach, someone who has experience within the Metro Division, a former assistant coach for the New York Rangers, do you think, Nicholas Brown, that this is a good move and why?
Yes, and I think the Trib summed it up perfectly. What separated Dan was his ability to develop players, win at all levels where he has been a head coach, and his consistent success coaching special teams in the NHL. That's exactly what the Penguins needed. They needed someone who could develop players. They needed someone who could win at all levels when looking at the broader aspect. They needed someone, coaching special teams. They needed someone with all different talents and that could keep moving and just keep putting the team forward, making sure the team has its best interests. And I think, Kyle Dubas outlined that when he, talking about, his success. And he goes to say his overall body of work, attention to detail, and vision for our group showed us that he is the best coach to take our team forward. Don't get me wrong, Mike Sullivan had that era and had that in the Penguins, but when you look at the results, it's just not what anybody wanted. Dan, on the other hand, is a standout. You look at his stats, and he's honestly the best fit overall.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with you there. I am a little concerned with chemistry going into next year for sure. I'm excited to see how Sidney Crosby and an Evgeny Malkin and a Chris Letang, players who are already established and has a lot of say within the franchise. I'm wondering how they're going to take to Muse's coaching adjustments and coaching style because there's no denying it is completely different than what Sullivan has had with the Penguins for the last decade or so. So I think it's going to be a nice, interesting twist going into the offseason on how Crosby, someone who's been an established player for damn near 20 years, can kind of readjust toward the tail end of his career for maybe one last push for a cup or one last push for greatness. Dan Muse to me is a guy who is not going to win you a championship, but is a guy that's going to get you one step closer to it. He is going to be a great transition coach for you into the next steps of your franchise. Crosby's not going to be around forever. Gino's not going to be around forever. Letang's not going to be around forever. These guys have a couple of good years left on them. Muse is going to make sure they get everything out of those last couple years so that when the franchise goes into a full reset, Muse will be able to probably get paid elsewhere. These players will be able to have a happy retirement and be happy with their careers. And the Pittsburgh Penguins' new management at the time can take this team to new heights and new levels, like we've seen with Washington, like we've seen with New Jersey, like we've seen with the Islanders several years ago, and like what we are currently seeing with the Florida Panthers. I'm very excited to see Dan Muse as a Pittsburgh Penguin. I was very timid on it at first, but I believe this was the best move overall for them at this current point in time.
What do you think about Sullivan going to the Rangers?
I'm not surprised. I mean, you have a historic coach going to a historic franchise. I think the Rangers had a very bad year, like a year that is like they have two great goalies, yet they couldn't even make the playoffs. They were under 500. That just shows how pathetic their coaching style was over the last couple of years. Their players is what took them over the top. So bringing in a guy, Mike Sullivan, I think is going to help the Rangers because, again, I bring up the Andy Reid comparisons all the time. Andy Reid, when he was a Philadelphia Eagles head coach, was great. He took them to a Super Bowl. He's had success there, but things grew stale. Teams figured him out. They needed a new reset. Reid went to the Chiefs to find success. The Eagles brought in two different head coaches and found success with both. Same thing's going to happen with Mike Sullivan. He left the Penguins, who he's had success with in the past, and he's going to go to New York. And I believe New York's going to benefit from it by getting a head coach that's honestly a Hall of Famer. And the Penguins are going to benefit from it, getting a younger guy in Dan Muse, who has a new vision for the franchise.
Honestly, though, I think it was time that Sullivan departed. Will he be able to change, this whole different era in the Rangers? It's going to be one to watch. It's going to be one hockey season to watch because will Dan Muse be able to attract more fans to the arena? Will this record show? Will his ability show what this kind of team is? Chemistry is obviously going to be an issue, but they have pretty much almost half a year to kind of rest up and kind of, figure out what needs to happen.
They got plenty of time. I think they'll be fine.
They'll
We'll
be
just have
fine.
to wait and see. They'll be fine. How about a team, though, that I didn't expect to be too fine, though? How about the Pittsburgh Pirates, Nick? They recently swept the Philadelphia Phillies. They're in the midst of playing a series against the Marlins. They have another game today at 12:35, which I will actually be at doing some bonus content for good old Point Park. I know you told me to stay home, but they're the ones dragging me down this time.
I
Don't
didn't
really
tell
have
you
any.
to stay home.
You told me to stay home and try and enjoy summer. Stop rushing summer.
I did, but also at the same time, why would you want to go to the Pittsburgh Pirates? That's like watching paint dry.
I'm not going to say no to a free Pirates game, but but the Pirates do play the Marlins. The series is tied 1-1 right now. The Pirates beat them a couple days ago 10-3, and then of course yesterday they lost 3-2. The Philly series was great. They swept them. Best series by far of the Don Kelly era. Nick, you pointed out earlier you were impressed with the new head coach. What do you think now about the current standings of the Pirates? Nowhere near impressive, nowhere near going to make the playoffs at all this year, but
Whoa, I
certainly a
don't
little bit of
know.
a
Wait a
fight.
minute. Wait a minute. I don't know about that. I don't know.
What do you mean don't know? They're bottom of the division. They're 27 and 41.
I know. I'm trying to think of where I saw the stats, but if they were able to at least go 6-4 against every team, every series, that would actually put them in a decent spot.
Do you really genuinely believe that's going to happen?
I do.
What? Nick, have you been watching the Pirates?
I do. I think this new head coach, John Kelly, is ready to go. And I'm trying to think of where I saw the stat at. As you know, I'm trying to think. You're like ready to
Yeah.
like,
This is almost as bad as your Cowboys take.
no, my takes are never bad. They're hot takes.
Yeah, they're hot. They get me hot. I'll tell you that much.
I'm trying to remember where I saw that stat at.
Listen, I'll say this while you're trying to find your lousy little stat. The
Lousy.
Pittsburgh
It's a nice stat.
I'm excited to hear it because I don't believe it for a second. Listen, the Pittsburgh Pirates, at the end of the day, you can throw as many stats, as many metrics, as many numbers as you want out there, Nick Brown. But the thing is with the Pittsburgh Pirates, they remind me of my Arizona Cardinals. They stink. They never can make it past playoff time when it actually comes. Yes, they're playing great right now, but it's June. Are they going to play the same way come October, come September, come August? We'll just have to wait and see because guess what? Those are the months that matter. Yes, they're playing great now. Yes, they're looking good right now, but this is only a week. Can they do this 2 weeks in a row? Can they do this 3 weeks in a row? How can they do this for a month? The Reds are above them. The Brewers are above them. The Cardinals are above them. The Cubs are significantly above them. That's all four teams that's in the National League Central with them. They're bottom of the Central. I don't see them making the playoffs unless that somehow, some way, the West and the East just completely collapses.
I don't want it to be, but I think the Pirates are having this quick turnaround that I don't think anybody expected. And we might be seeing them go pretty far per.
I'll give him Don Kelly credit. The Philly series was impressive. It definitely opened my eyes. It was the first time that I was like, hold on, wait a minute. The Pirates are actually starting to do something now this year. And this is the first time I've said that under the Don Kelly era. The fact that they're tied 1-1 with the Marlins right now, they should have won yesterday. And I hope they win today. If they can close off the series with a 2-1 lead, then maybe I might lean more towards your opinion, Nick. But just from what I'm seeing right now, they've had one good series under his era. Just one.
I can't find the stat. I don't know where it's at on Facebook, but it was something about if they go 6-4 now every series from here on, they can have a pretty decent season and they would finish on top like 83-70 something, 85-74 something.
I mean, I guess it's 80 wins, but I don't know.
I don't know. I have some pretty hot takes that are getting attention that are bringing the viewers in.
You are. You're also slowly giving me a brain aneurysm, but it's okay.
Also, does the other half of new management, but you don't say anything.
Oh, I say something all the time. Are you kidding me? Did you not hear him on Two Jackoffs a couple weeks ago speaking all that nonsense?
About what?
Just in general. Oh,
Oh,
Mason
that's
Rudolph's going to
you.
take this. Me?
Yes.
Name one thing that I've said that is nonsense. Exactly.
Oh, that's hard though, because you have though.
Come on, Prince.
Gosh,
I'm serious. Pull up a picture of Prince after this recording. You look just like him with that hairstyle.
you love Prince. You must have like a relationship with Prince.
And as soon as you joined the Zoom call, I saw the hair. I'm like, holy hell. Yeah, that's you. Put it side by side. That's you. That is literally you.
I'm famous. Look at that.
Wait, here, put up again. I don't think they you have to I think you have to talk while it's showing, so it shows your camera.
Oh, sorry. Here's me against Prince. I'm famous.
That's yeah, you're famous, Nick.
I'm a famous
Even
Nick Brown.
famous Nick Brown. You're gonna start singing Little Red Corvette now, aren't you? You got the red shirt on.
I do, yes. I'll be singing for two Jagoffs, question mark?
Who knows? Maybe
Nick
you will.
Brown rapping for two Jagoffs? What's this new era of Nick Brown?
Oh gosh. Prince Brown.
Prince Brown.
Prince Brown, that's your new nickname, Prince Brown. We've established it.
Oh,
Hey, I get called JFK and
because
Car
that's
Hinge,
who
and
you look like. It's been confirmed by many guests.
it's about time I got a nickname for you. I've been waiting for a
It
while.
only took almost a year to come up with, but it's okay.
It only took 22 episodes of Steel City Commuters.
Which is equivalent to about 4 or 5 months.
Hey, you know what? Of all the nicknames you could have gotten, you're off pretty easy getting Prince. Prince is a legend. I will
We
say
have a
that.
lot of nicknames for you.
Yeah, go ahead, start rattling them off. JFK, Car Hinge, Ted,
Carnage
Unk.
Kitty,
Oh God, yeah, that's you and Lucas with that weird one.
Mr.
Professor,
Glass.
Mr. Glass. That's a classic.
There's a lot more.
I just got called Ellen this weekend.
Ellen?
Yeah, like Ellen DeGeneres.
Hello, Ellen.
No, hell no.
Ellen. I
I
like.
also got called Olaf.
Okay, Olaf. I would love to talk to these people who come up with these nicknames because I have some news for you.
You're in a group chat with all of them.
Well, that's a very good group chat then. They're very smart.
Yeah. Okay.
Top of the class too.
Top of the class. Top of the class.
Like
I
me.
also wanted to. I wanted to break one more piece of news before we just kind of BS for the rest of this episode. There was some NFL news I was a little confused about, actually. I don't know if you saw this or not. It's not even Pittsburgh related. It's actually coming out of Green Bay with the Packers. Jair Alexander, standout star cornerback, was released well after the draft, well in the training camp or OTAs, and now he is a free agent. He's free to sign anywhere. Thoughts?
Yeah, so it's interesting. They proposed a new contract. They restructured it that would have paid him less than the 16.15 million. Um, but he turned it down. He really hadn't been participating in the voluntary workouts in the off season, and I just think the blood between them wasn't in a place where I think was stable. I think it was coming that he was going to be released. He's missed more games than he has played in the last 2 years after dealing with a string of injuries.
Wow.
That's according to Pro Football. But, he will now become an unrestricted free agent and will surely have some offers from teams that he hope can regain. It's unfortunate. He's an amazing top cornerback, and he's going to really be one to watch.
Indeed, and I believe due to the injury history that he's had, teams are going to be able to sign him relatively cheaply. They're going to be able to bring this guy in and get him on a smaller deal, which is nice for some of these teams that really do need corners. A lot of these teams that's already spent a good bit of money. But for his sake, this is unfortunately probably the time of his career where we're going to start seeing a downfall. And we've seen that with so many players. We've seen it even with some of the great corners out there, like a Darrelle Revis. Once you leave that initial team where you made your legend legacy on, it's hard to kind of rebound off of that. So I'm wishing Alexander nothing but the best. Injuries suck, man, but I will tell you what, when he was out there on the field, he was a presence.
Will he end up with the Cowboys, the Steelers, Broncos?
Well, I mean, the Steelers could use him because all they have is penalty Porter, but I thought your Cowboys are dead set on corners. Don't you guys have Trayvon Diggs? So why would you need him too?
Keep adding to the team. Keep adding to where the talent lies.
Let me ask you a genuine question, Nicholas Brown. What is your current stance on the Dallas Cowboys going into this season? We're going to have this to end this off the episode.
I honestly am looking forward to a season. I think it's going to be an exciting season. Dak is making a return. You have George Pickens, between his top takes and his talent adding to an already in-depth field and in-depth team. Excited with Micah Parsons, another one that's a top talent. I'm honestly excited to watch every game that, of course, you'll be hosting.
Hell no. So, what's the ceiling for the Cowboys?
They make it to the playoffs, followed by a Super Bowl, followed by a
Oh,
Super Bowl win, followed by you getting a haircut.
I already got a haircut.
I'm sorry, a shaved haircut where all the hair comes off. You go bald.
Listen, Nick. The Dallas Cowboys are going absolutely nowhere near the Super Bowl.
How do
They
you
are
know
not
that?
winning it. They are not winning it. They're not playing in it. Hell, they are not sniffing it. The Dallas Cowboys are in the same division as the Washington Commanders, who has a young stud rookie quarterback in Jaden Daniels, who's entering his sophomore season, and he is electric. They have the Super Bowl champions, the Philadelphia Eagles, who toppled the Kansas City Chiefs in their division. Need I add that the rest of the NFC is also stacked? The Vikings, the Lions, the Packers, the Niners, the Rams, the Buccaneers. There's so many other great teams out there that we could list on. Not to mention the fact that Dak Prescott is the most paid quarterback, also one of the most overrated quarterback. Do we need to bring up the amount of playoff wins that he has? It's practically similar to Tony Romo, Nick. And need I add this as well? If the Dallas Cowboys somehow, some way, squeeze and weasel their way into the playoffs, make it to the Super Bowl, and have a chance to hoist the Lombardi above their heads live on two Jagoffs. You, Lucas, Kevin, whoever you want to bring, can have as many razors as you want and shave this head bald. I will go bald if the Cowboys do it. Hell, you can even shave my eyebrows while you're at it too.
I'm calling
Because
the
I know
NFL. I'm calling the NFL right now.
call. We're gonna get the script changed.
Gonna get the script changed because I think the script is flip.
Let
I think the script is flipping as we talk every episode.
me ask you genuinely: are you rage baiting, or do you think the Cowboys are actually going to win the Super Bowl?
I would never rage bait. That's not who I am.
So you actually believe deep down in your soul that the Cowboys can win the Super Bowl?
Yes,
Oh my gosh. That's like me saying the Cardinals are going to win the Super Bowl.
they're out of it even in the preseason. Dallas, they have so much room to improve. It's going to be one season to watch. I will be staying up late for Sunday night Dallas games,
And what happens if Dak Prescott gets hurt in week 3?
and I will risk bingo for Thursday night football games.
You're risking bingo.
If yes, I will skip bingo if they ever play Thursday night to watch.
Oh my, that's a first.
If not, I'll just watch it on my phone and bingo the whole time. But
In your little Cowboys jersey.
in my Cowboys jersey, which I will be ordering you one very soon.
No, thank you.
You have one, which I believe you'll be wearing in a few episodes or so coming up.
I have a couple Cowboys hoodies. I have a t-shirt and I have a tank top. So I have some Cowboys merch.
And you'll be um portraying it shortly.
I don't think I have any jerseys though. I'm trying to think. No, I don't have any Cowboys jerseys. I have a couple hoodies though. I have two
I do
hoodies.
have a Dallas Cowboys coffee mug.
Of course you do. Well, I know what I'm getting you for your birthday and Christmas.
What?
Cowboys gear.
Cowboys gear. See, you knew it.
Well, my birthday's in December. Your birthday, what's your month? Birthday, your month is it again?
January.
Oh, you're January. Well, I thought you were February.
No.
January what?
16th.
16th? All right, January 16th of 2026. Nick Brown will be getting some new Cowboys gear.
You'll be getting some new Steelers gear from me. No, I'll make it Cardinals.
Let's say I don't want no Steelers gear. That's pretty much just Kittle at that point. That's just to light the fire.
Well, I have to do something
Good luck finding Cardinals gear though. It's hard finding it here in
on
Pittsburgh.
December 2nd because that's when your wonderful birthday is.
There you go. Look at you. I suck with birthdays, so I apologize messing yours up.
Oh, and yours
I'm
is a
off.
Tuesday this year.
Is it? Great. I'm taking off. Actually, no, I worked my birthday the last 4 years. I don't believe in taking off on your
I
birthdays.
always have college or school off on my birthday. There's always a snowstorm or a public holiday.
Your birthday's on a what next year? I'm gonna
Um,
guess it's Wednesday.
Friday,
Oh, and you're turning 20.
the big 2-0.
If only it was 21. A Friday 21st birthday would actually be pretty cool. Because then you'd have all day Saturday to recover.
Yes, but you know where I will be in less than 2 years on my birthday.
Yeah, not at the bar. You'll be at the damn casino.
You're correct. How'd you know?
Oh, how did I know? Mr. Gambler over here betting all his money, winning on big at bingo.
And in a carnival.
And a carnival. You're winning on scratch offs, you're winning at carnivals, you're winning at bingo.
I just have that luck.
My goodness. You're
You
gonna win
need some
everywhere.
luck.
I do need some luck. I really do. Send it my way.
I can't send you my luck. Luck's not transferable.
I was just over in Oakmont. You could have sent me some luck while I was over there.
Luck is not transferable.
Yeah, we'll see.
What do you mean you'll see? People try rubbing me for good luck at bingo. Doesn't work.
I ain't going anywhere near
I'm just radiant with luck.
you.
Radiant. Bright shining radiant Nick Brown.
Prince Brown.
No.
Yes. Oh yeah. That's gonna
No.
be a thing now. Oh yes.
No.
Well, we
Radiant
could do
Radiant NB.
Radiant MB. Is that a new color like Lucas shows on Two Jagoffs?
Yes. Yes.
Oh man, well, Nick, we could do this all day, every day if we had to, but unfortunately, we met that time again where Zoom constrains us to under 40 minutes. So, before we end off today's episode, was there any final words you'd like to leave with the audience?
Go watch Two Jagoffs Thursday. The favorite Nick Brown will be appearing.
That's right, tomorrow, 10 o'clock Eastern, AM, 10 a.m. Eastern. Two Jagoffs will release. Nick Brown will be in the promo and in the episode, so stay tuned
Promo.
for that.
What?
Yeah, you'll be in the promo too. You almost ruined it, but it's okay.
Oh, no. I made it even better.
You?
Yes. Of
All
course.
right.
The wondrous Nick Brown made it even better.
We'll see. We'll see about that. But no, I'm excited, Nick. The episode was really well. This or that special. You will be on it. I also did the Councilwoman Teresa Cale Smith interview last week. Any final thoughts on that?
Amazing. One to watch.
It is one to watch. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for tuning in to Steel City. Until next time, we will see you next week.